Hey man, I figured I'd show you a little bit of the progress up close. It's been a while since you've seen it, but so you can tell that, like we talked about, I really took a lot off the thickness. So it's pretty much about the same thickness all the way around as a board as if it were truly bent. And I think that really kind of pulled out the nature of the design. So take a look at the join between the neck and the body. That turned out pretty good too. Still got a little bit of a gap, and we'll have to fix that. It'll come out fine. And overall, it lined up pretty good. You kind of, you take the bridge. Let's see, without really even tweaking the neck very much. It's pretty darn close right there. These aren't, I can raise these up, but it's going to be up on the nut, so maybe a little bit high. And then all the controls go in here with the holes drilled through so that you can pass the wires for the pickups back into the control box. And they tight. That'll go right there. So I think it's coming along pretty good. I like it. So then there's that whole aspect of the how to veneer it. I went ahead and bought a vacuum pump, which will give a whirl, but this is the veneer. You can see how I mean, there's a lot going on in there. This side's even better. I think that's gonna look really cool. We'll see if it goes. The guy said practice a lot before you try it. Practice on cardboard, so I'm gonna give it a whirl. And then what I was just showing you had to do with the fret markers. So this is probably going to be, like we talked about on the binding on the edge, which by the way, one option is this kind of a combination. It's a thin white and a thick black. Something like that, and a lot of the thickness on the black gets sanded out, but that would be the binding as one option right there. So I'm not quite sure about that one. There is a black ebony natural wood binding, so like this is that curly maple binding, and I really liked it. This is pretty fragile as a species, but the ebony is pretty good to work with. And I think just a natural wood ebony would be a more tasteful approach than this plastic. I'm curious to get your thoughts on that. But the one thing I'm worried about though is you have to bend it. It's inclined to bend in one direction, but to bend in the other direction, if the wood doesn't like it, that might bring it to a halt. But so then on the headstock, it's going to be kind of the same deal. It's going to have that burled maple veneer covering this up, so these lines, you won't see these, but you'll see it kind of peek around on the top there, because I'm going to sand kind of a facet down on that to give it more of a character. And then I think I am going to go ahead with the inlay, but small one right around here for the Georgia quarter. So now oh, take a look at this. So look at how the transition from the neck to the headstock. I think that's going to turn out pretty good. Can you see it? So whatever we do with the binding, I think I should do it also on the neck too, which then brings into question of what's going to touch up against that binding. You can kind of see, if you look, you might be able to see, but you see that one I attempted that's like little slopes that get smaller and smaller as you go down. That was one idea. This is the other idea, right? This is the one where they start, these two lines actually converge up here, but you don't see it. And then when they come down, they get wider and wider. And I just think it's kind of a neat little effect. It's a lot of bling, you know? So it's like, if you do it, I might just keep the line thin and see how that looks. But there's also just the option to leave it just the ebony black. You're going to see the frets, and then I'm going to put fret markers here on the side anyway, which that's more where you're going to look to see the 3, 5, 7, and 9. So there's no reason for playability or function to have them on the front, but if it's something that you're interested in, let me know, because there's some fun ideas. But anyway, man, I hope you like it. It's coming along.